Hi guys, how's it going? It's Ian here from Sustrans. Welcome to episode 6 of World of Bikes. This week we're going to look at electric bikes or e-bikes. And I have some special guests who are going to show us their bikes. So first up we have my friend Tom.
Hi guys, I'm Tom from Sustrans. I'm an active travel officer, and what I do is I work with boys and girls and grown-ups from all over Belfast to try and encourage them to ride their bikes more and to walk more. So today I'm going to introduce you to my e-bike. Now the E in e-bike stands for electric bike. So it's a regular bicycle, but it's got a big battery here, and that provides electricity to help you ride your bike. So it's got a big battery here and it provides power to the motor, and what that motor does is it helps you pedal the bike more easily. So it's a little bit like having an invisible friend behind you that's giving you a bit of a push, which is really good if you're riding the bicycle uphill or if you're riding the bicycle against a strong wind. It just makes things easier for you. So you charge your battery up, and the battery fits on the bicycle there, and the power from the battery goes down to the motors, and the motor helps you turn the pedal. It gives you some assistance. So just like a normal bike, it has front and rear brakes, but the front and rear brakes are more powerful on this bike because you've got more power driving the bicycle forward. So you've got a front disc brake and a rear disc brake, and they're specially designed for electric bikes to make the brakes stop the bike better. Okay, and it's got a wee screen here. It's a bit like your computer, and what that does is that tells you how many miles you're cycling, what speed you're going at, how long you've been out. It even has a little indicator there to tell you how much juice is left in your battery, which is really good. And look at this fantastic thing here too. Look at that going up and down. So it's a bit like putting the power on. You can turn it off, then you can go to 1 speed, 2 speeds, 3 speeds. So you've got 4 speeds to choose from, which is fantastic. Another cool thing about this electric bike is it's got a front and rear light that are attached to the battery, so you don't have to worry about batteries that you need to put into your light. It's got a little switch on the screen, and you can turn it on and you can turn it off, and the power comes from the battery. So that's another cool thing, and that's especially important in dark days, especially during the winter when you're going to school, going home from school. And what this bike is really good for is for just going out for spins, if you want to go out for a spin at the weekend just for fun. But it's really good when you want to carry something. Now for some people it's to carry their shopping or their football gear or their sports gear. For other people, especially grown-ups, it's good for taking things into work if they're going into work. That's called commuting, where you go from home into your place of work or indeed your school. And some of your teachers probably commute as well. So you can put a bag or sometimes 2 bags on your bike, and you can put your books or your laptop or your lunch or a change of clothes or your sports kit, and you can carry everything. Well guys, hope you've enjoyed me talking about the e-bike, but I got a rush here, got somewhere to go, so I'm going to go on my commute. So I'll talk to you next time. Bye!
Great, thanks very much Tom. That was really interesting and cool to see how many features you have on your e-bike. Next up we have Richard, who's going to talk to us about his e-mountain bike. Over to you, Richard.
Thanks Ian. My name's Richard. I'm the active travel officer for the Northwest area, and I'm going to talk to you about my electric mountain bike and how it's a little bit different from Ian's mountain bike. Right, so electric mountain bikes. They're getting more and more popular as more and more people want to use that electric power to get up the hills, and then they can enjoy riding down the hills just like any other mountain bike. So how are things different? Well, for a start, this fat tube here contains my battery. I'll take it off in a minute and show you. It's a big heavy lump, and it does make the bike pretty heavy. So this bike is much heavier than a normal mountain bike. So if the battery is not turned on and the motor's not turned on, it's quite hard to pedal. Down here, inside that bit is the motor. The motor is used to help turn the pedals. You have to put in some effort of your own. It doesn't give you free power, so it's not like a motorbike. You have to be pedaling yourself, and then it adds up the power. It pulls on the chain and turns the back wheel. Some of the other things that are different are that the front and back brakes have to be very powerful. So front brake on the bike, back brake on the bike are disc brakes. They have to be powerful disc brakes because the bike is heavier, what with the battery and the motor. So how far can I go? Well, if I charge this up, and it can take a while to charge it up, so I do have to plan that before I go for a ride, I can go for up to 100 miles. At least that's what the manufacturers say. If I'm going up hills, and me being quite a big guy, it doesn't quite go that far, but that's enough for me anyway. The power in the battery, 80 Newton meters of torque, and it can add up to 360% extra effort on top of what I'm doing. So pretty powerful stuff, and I love it for going uphill. Another thing that I also do with it is put a strap on the back up there, and I tow my son, who's 5. I tow him up the hills so he and I can both ride down the hills together. Okay, so my bike controls are up here. So I turn, this button gives me power, and you can see there, that's my power indication. It just shows me I've got 5 lights, so I've got full power. And my power setting is in the middle there. I can change my power setting using this button while I'm riding. So I can give it full power, so it's giving me lots of power in addition to my pedaling. And I won't be able to go quite as far with that. Or I can go down into low power eco mode, and I'll be able to go quite a long way with that, and I'll have to pedal quite hard. It's really noticeable when you're pedaling how much difference it makes. Okay, so that was me giving a little blast on my bike, enjoying the power that it gives you. Even better when you're going up hills, and like I said, I love it for getting up the steep hills, and then I can blast down them like any other mountain biker. Okay everybody, I'm just going to show you now the size of the battery and how I can take it off. So I've got this key. On the other side of the bike there's a little lock, and I'll just pop the battery off and then show you it in my hands. Okay, so this is the battery for the bike. It's the same stuff as you have in a smartphone, so the same material, lithium-ion battery in there. Takes a long time to charge, and it's a meaty old thing. I like to charge mine in the house because it means that the battery will last a little bit longer. On the bottom here I've got a little indicator, and when I press it, it shows me how much battery life I've got left. So at the moment it says I've got 4, so I can see in the house whether it's fully charged. It's really easy to put back on. I just slot it in, click it on, and take the key out. And that keeps it safe when I'm riding. And it's protected from the water as well around the bottom of the connections if I'm on a wet ride. It's a great piece of technology, and you're seeing more and more of them out there on the trails. Okay. Back to Ian. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Richard. That was really interesting to see how your e-bike is getting more people out riding bikes. It's making the sport of cycling more accessible to more people, which can only be a good thing. Have a good week, guys. See you next time.